Good morning, my fellow citizens of Randolph County. Your county chairman back this morning as we start our 6th week of these video conferences to you, and we continue to get good comments about our videos, and we continue to get a lot of hits on the videos from you, the public, and we certainly appreciate that, and we take that as a appreciation on your part or interest on your part in what we have to say and present to you at these meetings, and to keep you informed. And unfortunately this morning as we come to you, our caseload has more than doubled in a week. Last Monday we had 76, I'm sorry. This morning we have 155. So we've gone up 79, and what is driving a lot of these numbers is multiple cases in the same location. As you know, we've had the poultry processing over in Siler City, and a lot of those folks live in Randolph County. We also have our first infant with coronavirus, a newborn baby. There's 4 of those new cases that are under the age of 18. So we're seeing this community spread, and continue to just observe and be careful of where you go and who you're in contact with. And we're trying to get through this. I know there's a movement afoot to reopen a county and reopen our state. As we've said to you before, we haven't made any laws or any implemented any restrictions in this process, and we follow those that are directed by the state and any related to the federal government. So just keep those things in mind. I was just talking to the folks back here, and the other thing I want to say about those cases, every one of those cases requires a follow-up. So in every instant, the health department has to go to the patient, to the home, and all the people that person has been in contact with in the last week or 10 days to see where they picked it up, to see who they've been around, where they could have passed it along. So the workload has, it's more than doubled along with that, and proportionally it could more than double depending on the exposure from those that have it. So please keep them in consideration and appreciation for work that they do in trying to locate sources and trying to identify those who might have been exposed and get them tested, and if need be, get them some medical attention. So a lot of work goes on around the county. It's behind the scenes, and a lot of us, we don't know all that they do, but I just want you to know that it's going on every day, and it's needed, and it is for the protection of life itself. So keep them in your thoughts and in your prayers each day. I would say to you this morning, this past Sunday, my wife and I left about 9:30, 9:45, and I drove 115 miles in Randolph County. All of those were east of I-73, 74, or the 220 bypass. And I probably passed between 40 and 50 churches of all sizes, all denominations. In not one instant did I see a church that was not observing social distancing or respect for their fellow man. I was just especially proud and thoughtful of how much they have taken this into consideration. As you know, one of our first cases, our first death and our first multiple cases came from a church. And I think that churches around this county, and evidence shows that, have taken it seriously. And while they pray and while they worship, they understand the seriousness of it. And I think the thing I saw most were those that were sitting in their cars. No one out elbow to elbow, so to speak, but everyone's in their car. I did see a couple of churches where the parking lot was paved, and they had had seats distanced apart in keeping with the requirements. So just thanks to our ministers, thanks to those who set that up. There's obviously a lot of the churches either weren't having a service or either doing it by video, by the internet. So I just want to pass that along and thank our faith community for praying for us and keeping this county as safe as their processes can be. So thank you again. So with that, I will come to sort of my little thought for the day, and I like to read the book of Psalms. It's entertaining, I think, and refreshing and motivational. In the 103rd Psalm, I want to read the first 4 verses, and then I want to select a little portion of verse 17. But the psalmist wrote, "Bless the Lord, O my soul, and all that is within me, bless his holy name. Bless the Lord, O my soul, and listen, and forget not his benefits, who forgiveth all thine iniquities, and who healeth all thine diseases." He heals all of our diseases. "Who redeemeth my life from destruction, who crowneth thee with loving kindness and tender mercies." A very helpful passage of scripture this morning, and just to know that he not only forgives us of our iniquities, but that he heals all of our diseases. And from the 17th verse, "But the mercy of the Lord is from everlasting to everlasting. He will never leave us nor forsake us." He knows everything that we're going through every day. I believe God prepares people. I believe he prepares his servants on this earth, in doctors, nurses, EMS providers, first responders, to take care and to do his work on this earth. He has no feet but ours. He has no hands but ours. And I know that the medical service also has many Christians and faith believers in their congregations and in all that they do. And so we are together. And thank you for listening today. And Hal and Susan will have some more follow-up for you. But God bless, and let's have a good week. Thank you.
Hi, Susan Hayes, Randolph County Public Health. Commissioner Frye just reported about an hour ago, actually, that we had 155 positive cases. Well, in that matter of time, we increased to 159. Sadly, we experienced another death over the weekend that brought our deaths to 3. We currently know that there are 9 people in the hospital as well. Many folks continue to ask us what happens, what do we do when we get a positive confirmed COVID-19 test? Last week, you got to hear 2 of our lead nurses talk about their work in doing case investigation and contact tracing. I wanted this morning to just review what happens when we do get a positive case. What kind of work does that involve with our staff? Case investigation includes contacting the confirmed positive COVID-19 individual and providing information to them and education about what self-isolation means. We also have to gauge when we talk to that individual what their situation is at home. Do they have a place to self-isolate? Do they have family members that we need to be concerned about? Who have they been in contact with? Who they've had contact with since they've become ill? We also talk to them about control measures and try to be sure that we can get all the information about close contacts that need to be notified of exposure. Our case investigators then prioritize whether or not talking on the phone is the best thing or deciding that a field visit has to be made. Sometimes we do go see people because their situation requires that. We have to make sure if a whole family is ill that that family has the needs. Can they get food? Can they home quarantine? Can they self-isolate? Are there high-risk individuals in their family that the sick person really cannot be around? Additionally, contact tracing comes into play there, meaning that those they've been in contact with need to be contacted and made aware that they've need to self-quarantine and monitor for symptoms. This work is extremely intensive, and every time we get a positive case, that's what's involved with all of those folks. It's imperative that we do this. This is basic public health work. This has been done for years, decades. This is what public health does. As testing continues to ramp up, as the governor and the Secretary Cohen has said, we are also working on the ability to ramp up testing. We're in the process looking at what it would take for us to be able to offer additional testing in our community. When we see testing increase, we know that case numbers are going to increase. So not only are we going to be more involved in doing the hands-on testing, but that is really going to increase what it's going to take to provide that contact tracing and that case investigation that has to go on with each positive. It's very, very labor intensive, but it's very, very important work that we do. Thank you for your continued support of public health. Thank you for all the mitigation strategies that you are participating in as requested by the governor, as requested by public health, as requested by your commissioners. Thank you for all you are doing to stay safe and for slowing the spread of COVID-19 in our community.
Thank you, Commissioner Chairman Darrell Frye and Public Health Director Susan Hayes, for your comments and your updates this morning. Today's video is the 11th in a series of videos presented by your Randolph County government. To date, these YouTube videos have received almost 17,000 views, not counting the shares, and we thank you for that. They're designed to provide you, our citizens, with not only updated information on the coronavirus and its impacts in our community, but also to provide you with information about your Randolph County government resources and how we are organizing and operating to protect and serve our citizens during these challenging times of coronavirus pandemic. Today, you have heard updates each Tuesday and Thursday. They're normally on our website around 1 o'clock, not only from the Chairman of the County Commissioners and the Public Health Director, but also our Sheriff, our Emergency Services Director, the Public Schools, the Register of Deeds, Social Services, Risk Management, our Animal Services, Economic Development, our Veteran Service Officer, and our Agricultural Extension Service. Our featured guest today is David Bryant. David is Director of the Randolph County Inspections Department. David and his staff are charged by state laws with inspecting all type of new construction, including electrical, to ensure the work has been done in accordance with state standards and regulations. Last year, the Randolph County Inspections Department performed over 16,000 individual construction inspections across Randolph County. David will provide you with information that impacts our construction industry as a result of the pandemic. He will also review new procedures that have been implemented to ensure continuity of services in the Randolph County Inspections Department.
Good morning. My name is David Bryant. I'm the Director of Inspections for Randolph County. The Inspections Department has 6 inspectors, 1 Deputy Director, and 1 administrative assistant that make up our department. The state of North Carolina has designated the Inspections Department as an essential business because of its ties to the construction industry. Our designation could change pending further instruction from the state of North Carolina or the Randolph County Board of Commissioners. Over the past 5 years, construction within Randolph County has been on a steady increase. Although we are dealing with this COVID-19 crisis, the construction industry, which is an essential business, has not seen much of a slowdown. The Inspection Department has continued to see a steady growth in the number of permits issued and the number of inspections performed. Our permitting operations, the Randolph County Department of Building Inspections Central Permitting Office will continue to be open for business Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. However, we have closed our office to prevent public access except for the foyer area. We will close each day for lunch between 1 and 2. The foyer area will remain open to allow applications to be dropped off and permits to be picked up to ensure you can still obtain all your necessary permits. Our central permitting office will continue to process permit applications. Customers dropping off applications after hours or paying by credit card will be required to drop their payments and applications off in the black drop box located directly across from the main entrance. Email or fax to the links provided on the bottom of your applications. After the technicians have processed the applications, the permitting staff will contact you for payment by telephone and forward you a receipt and a copy of the permit by email or fax. If you have questions regarding the applications, please contact the numbers listed on your applications. It is very important that you have all the proper paperwork before processing is complete on your applications. Please remember that during this COVID-19 crisis, we are at limited staff to ensure we comply with social distancing and other regulations to ensure the safety of our citizens and employees. Processing of applications and permits may take additional time to complete, and we ask for your patience during this time. We encourage everyone who is capable of submitting completed applications for permits online to do so. You can fax completed applications or email permits to the links listed on your applications. After permits are processed, we will contact you for payment. Payments can be made by credit card, debit card, and a receipt will be emailed or faxed to you. Or if you prefer, you can drop your payments off in the black drop box located directly across from the main entrance. Please be sure to put your payment in a sealed envelope with your name, permit number if you have it, and phone number on the envelope prior to putting it in the drop box. The inspection procedures, the inspection scheduling process will not change. You may still contact your inspector to schedule inspections or discuss your projects as always. However, the inspectors are restricted from entering any occupied dwellings, businesses, places of assembly, or rest homes unless it is for life safety inspections. Life safety inspections include electrical, sanitary, gas for citizens that require these services for medical devices such as oxygen, dialysis, heart devices, etc. Life safety inspections will take priority over routine inspections as always. We will continue to perform standard inspections on new construction projects such as footings, foundations, framing inspections, etc. However, we ask that you maintain a clean, safe work site and practice social distancing while our inspectors are on these sites. Keep in mind that we're taking extra safety precautions during this COVID-19 crisis, and we will make every effort to perform inspections as quickly and as efficiently as possible. The North Carolina Department of Insurance has authorized the use of live remote inspections. This method can be used to perform inspections with smartphones, tablets, computers, just like FaceTime. Live remote inspections will be the required method of inspection for occupied dwellings or businesses during this COVID-19 crisis. We encourage all contractors and citizens to download the instructions for live remote inspections available on the inspections website. All citizens and contractors can utilize the permit links to search permits, to check the status of inspections, and review inspectors' notes from a web-based e-permit system. A link to this inspection-based software can be found on the inspection website and can be accessed from any location. We encourage anyone who is sick, or if you had contact with anyone who is sick, to stay at home. If your county business can be conducted electronically via phone, email, internet, live remote inspections, we strongly recommend you consider using these options. As this situation continues to evolve, we will provide updates through the media and the Randolph County Inspections website. I would like to take the time, this time to thank Jay Darrell, Director of Planning and Zoning, Susan Hayes, Director of Public Health, Environmental Health Division, and Mike Rowland, Director of Information Technology. Without the support and dedication of these departments and others, the inspection department could not effectively provide our service to the citizens of Randolph County. We are not just employees of Randolph County. Many of us are citizens as well, just like you. I would like to thank the Randolph County Board of Commissioners, the County Manager, and the COVID-19 Task Force for taking the necessary steps in keeping us safe and keeping all Randolph County citizens informed during this crisis. Thank you.